Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing a Honda Pilot EXL. Before we get into this video, I'm going to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry H. Miller Honda here in Murray, Utah for giving me some time with this Pilot. They have this one available for sale and another one as well for the time being. So if you're interested, I'll include a link to their website in the description down below. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 3.5 liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 19 around town and then 25 on the highway, with power outputs being 285 horsepower and then 262 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Now, starting with the hood, I love the boxy design. You just have two lines there. They've kept it simplistic. And then popping down below, that theme continues here with the headlights. And then look at like the chrome trim there at the top, and then also down below over this little like venting piece. Looks really cool. And then the grille's darker in coloration. And putting it all together, I really do like the Pilot's new boxy design. It looks a lot cooler than the previous gen, in my opinion. Now around the side here, our tire and wheel setup is 255/60/18 in the front and over in the rear. And you guys can see here with the wheels, you got the silver on the top and also the metallic gray there in the center. And then there's a quick look at the fender flares, and then you can see the trim that goes along the side. And then look at that little strip of silver. And you have more chrome there at the bottom of the window. And then here's your full side view with the Pilot. This is where you can see the continuation of the boxy design. Now here's a quick look at the key fob. We have our lock and unlock function, remote start. We got the opening for the hatch as well as the Honda logo there on the back end. Pop her open. Now in the rear, you guys can see we've got a 12 volt here in the back, and we actually have some storage underneath as well. Got some cup holder action here for the third row passengers, also a USB on either side, and vents as well. That's definitely a nice place. But yeah, with the third row folded down, I mean, we've got quite a bit of space back here, but you guys can see here, without the third row folded down, it's still pretty spacious. And when you're all done with the rear, just press that button and that will lower the hatch right back down. Now I've got the Pilot's new taillights, which look really cool. Pilot badge here in the back, and you guys can see the rest of the badges. And then we do have parking sensors here at the rear. And finishing things up, let me know what you guys think about the looks of the new Pilot, but I'm a big fan of this new design. Now taking a look at the door panel, we've got a sunshade for the rear passengers. Then you guys can see all of the soft touch here, and then some speakers here for the sound system. And then I love all of the storage as well. Now we're actually going to start in the third row. Just like most crossovers in this segment, the legroom's a little bit more on the cramped side. Again, it's pretty typical. Headroom though is really good, and these seats are very comfortable, and they have this cool little like design here in the center. I don't know, I think that's fun. Now taking a look at the seats, you guys can see with all the stitching, the soft touch, and I like this trim here in the center. But yeah, really cool design, just like the third row. And then room here in the second row is really good. We also have a little storage pocket. We got some vents here. We have our own climate zone as well, and then some USBs there at the bottom. And then headroom, it's good. Now taking a look at the front door panel, soft touch here at the top, and then also down below where you're going to rest your arm. We've got all of our window controls here, our mirror adjustments, memory seats, and we do have blind spot monitoring with the mirrors as well. And then here's the front seat. Again, you got that cool little insert there. And then same thing at the bottom. Power adjustments here on the side. And then we've got our stability control here. That's to open up the hatch. And then the steering wheel is manually adjustable. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, soft touch here all around. We've got paddle shifters here in the back for the 10-speed automatic. We have our cruise control with our steering assist, adaptive cruise control, by the way. Volume controls to the center stack, and then we've got our stocks here on the back. Now taking a look at the gauge cluster, I think it's pretty cool, and we can scroll through some different menus to see different bits of info on systems within the vehicle itself. And we also have a drive mode select. So we've got lots of different drive modes. I mean, look at this. It's quite crazy. I love how when you get to the end, does that little sound. But yeah, you got drive modes for everything. In reverse, we have a backup camera, which directions that turn with the steering wheel. Resolution on it's pretty solid. Now, with the infotainment system, you've got some like shortcut buttons here on the side. Now with the screen itself, response time is actually really good. We also have the little volume control here, physical button, and then same thing with the radio changing. So overall, I think good infotainment system, easy to use. Soft touch here on the dash, which is nice. And there's a little bit of storage here, and then more soft touch down below, and then you guys can see the vents here in the center. We've got our climate controls here. We do have a tri-zone climate system, heated seats as well, and then you got some storage right there, some more charging ports, wireless phone charging pad, and then storage right next to it. Cup holders right here, and then we have our transmission selector, which is a bunch of buttons Kind of hard to see all of them, but trust me, they're there. Drive mode selected right behind that, hill descent control, auto stop start, and then you guys can see parking brake here with the brake hold. And the center console in this is huge. I love that. Nice padding on the top of it, and then you guys can see here trim inside. Anyways, with the glove box, it's big. Now there's quite a bit of glare, so it's gonna be hard to see the window sticker. This is an EXL, total MSRP $45,775. Let's see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood, both the mirrors. Just do a blind spot monitoring throughout the rest of the rear, which box design helps out. And let us set off. Also, I wish I had one of those when I worked at the dealership. Scooter to get me around? Sign me up. Sign me up. Anyways, let's talk about the Pilot here, which, let's get this adjusted a little bit more. First off, the seats are actually really comfortable, so I think that's a big plus. And I like how open the cabin feels. That's one of the cool things about a boxier design, is it just makes everything feel bigger inside, which is great. Especially the headroom. Like if you're a tall person, this is a great car for tall people. Smooth so far with the transmission and everything. And pretty dang quiet too. Like I think they've done a good job with kind of the overall setup with the suspension and all of that. And yeah, I feel like, okay, look at this. Okay, this is just kind of a weird thing to mention, but like, okay, I mean, that doesn't matter over there, but I mean, good armrest space. But like, here's the center console that's huge. I feel comfortable resting my arm right there. So like, I could have a passenger also very comfortably rest their arm, and we wouldn't be like, you know, bumping elbows or, you know, trying to fight for space. So I think that's cool. Okay, so we've got the Pilot in the sport mode here. Going to the train tracks. Plunk plunk. Woo, responsive. 10 speed's very snappy, but it's smooth. It's good balance. Good balance. Yeah, I mean for the segment, this is right where it needs to be when it comes to acceleration and everything. It's right where it needs to be. But what I do want to say is, I wish there'd be more performance players in this segment, right? You know, you've got like the Dodge Durango RT with the V8. Used to have the Grand Cherokee Hemi, same engine, same vehicle, basically. But you've got the new Mazda CX-90 with their high output inline six. So yeah, I just think it'd be cool to see more high performance. And Honda would do it best, I think, because they're really, like, whenever they set out to make a performance anything, they always nail it. So focusing back in on what we have here, I love the boxy design. It looks cool on the outside, but then it also makes the interior feel very spacious. This drives really well. It's got good power for the segment. There's not really anything like, I like the interior material use. It doesn't necessarily feel the most upscale, but it feels durable. It feels like it's gonna last. So overall, I think they did a really good job on this new Pilot, and I think this package is I think this is a pretty good solid offering with the options it comes with at the price point, right, mid 40s. I think it's a pretty solid value. But let me know your thoughts on this new Pilot.